Hey, what's up everyone? Tim here from Everyday Tactical Vids. Today we're looking at the new Claris XT21C flashlight. So real quick, right there on the box you can see 3200 lumens of output. It's got a 1-inch diameter and runs off a 5000 milliamp hour 21700 battery. It's worthwhile to note you do have a 5-year warranty coming to you from Claris. And let's jump right into the details here on the back as far as your outputs. You have a moonlight at 5 lumens, a low at 100, a medium at 400, and then your high at 3200. As far as your burn times, you're looking at moonlight is going to be for 240 hours at 5 lumens. You're going to get 20 hours from your low setting at 100 lumens, 7 hours from your medium setting at 400 lumens. Your turbo setting, 3200 lumens, that's going to run for 3 minutes and then drop down to 800 for 4 hours. You can see the other details there, impact resistant to 1 meter and waterproof IPX8 rated, so 2 meters submersible. You also have a strobe feature and an SOS, 3200 lumens for your strobe at 8 hours, and then SOS is going to be 100 lumens, that's going to be for 60 hours. Up here on the top, they give you the weight, which is 109.8 grams or 3.87 ounces. That is without the battery. As I always say, that's kind of pointless to give that weight without a battery because no one uses a flashlight without a battery, but it is what it is. As far as your dimensions, 1.38 inches by 1 inch by 5.78 inches. And your LED is a Luminous SST70 LED. Here's a look at what you get with the actual flashlight. You get a bag that's got some extra O-rings and your lanyard. You get your USB-C cord, which is great that it has a USB-C as opposed to the old micro USB. You get some instructions in multiple languages. You get your sheath, and then you also get your light, obviously, inside the sheath. All right, so here's a look at the actual light. There's your bezel end. A little bit of an aggressive bezel. I just tested out one of their other flashlights recently. Their bezels tend to be not pointed as far as like really sharp points, but they do have a more aggressive end on some of the tactical lights. Get some decent texture there. I do find the body, the center of the body of the light pretty smooth in general for most of their lights, so just a heads up on that. Your functionality on the end here, you can see you got your pressure switch and then your paddle to cycle through the different outputs. You do have a pocket clip. This one's a bit big for me to carry as an EDC flashlight in a pocket, so I would definitely run this in the sheath if I was going to be carrying this. There's your USB-C port right here. I already had a USB-C cord, so I didn't use the one that was included with this, but this guy is fully charged and ready to go. So some just initial thoughts. I mean, it looks about the size of your average tactical flashlight. Wider bezel, 3200 lumens. You get your, looks like an orange peel reflector in there, so it's probably going to be a mix of, a flood and then also giving you a hotter center, I'm guessing. The functionality is kind of cool that you have all your interface down here at the end, your power switch, and then press this to cycle through your different outputs. All right, let's talk through the different functions on the XT21C. So you've got two settings. You have your outdoor setting and then you have your tactical setting. So in the outdoor setting, I'm going to press the end pressure switch right there. It's going to be on. I'm going to press the paddle now, and that's going to scroll from low up to the highest setting and then back down to the low setting. If I hold down the paddle, eventually it's going to click into SOS mode. So you're going to see SOS come on here, which obviously is great. If you're out in the woods and you need to get somebody's attention, now you've got it in SOS mode. I'm going to click this. It's going to go off. You can now switch to tactical mode. The way to do that is hold down on the paddle, and you're going to hold down for 5 seconds, and then this little light here, see if I can show it to you, right there is going to flash. So I'm going to hold it down, and eventually you're going to see it flash. Let's see if I can do it with it on camera. So it's red now, meaning the battery's a little bit low, but eventually it's going to flash. All right, so now it's flashing. Now I press the pressure switch, let go of the paddle, let go of the pressure switch, turn it off. Now we are into tactical mode. So when I press the paddle now, it's going to go into strobe. So strobe warning. And now when I turn it on with the pressure switch, it's going to cycle from high down to low. So those are your two different settings. You got your outdoor setting and then your tactical setting as well. Again, you've got this little light there that I just showed you. When it's green, you're going to be 70 to 100%. When it's orange, you're going to be 30 to 70%. When it's red, it means I think you're 10 to 30%. And then obviously if it doesn't come on, I think it's flashing red, it's going to be lower than 10. And when it doesn't come on, obviously your battery is dead. So that's your functionality. Overall the light is the size of like your average tactical flashlight, like I said. The paddle function takes a little bit of getting used to, but I very much appreciate the fact that all the controls are on the end as opposed to the end and then up here on the side of the flashlight. So with that said, I've taken footage of this guy already at night, so let's roll that in, give you a chance to see it, and then we'll come back and I'll bring some thoughts on, once again, the XT21C. All right, so we're looking at my car. It's about 20 feet away. Let's just cycle through the different settings from 5 to 100 to 400 to 3200. So here's 5. Here's 100. Here's 400. Here's 3200. Let's back up now and try it again. All right, back at 50 feet now. Here's 5. Here's 100. Go up to 400 here. And then 3200. We're going to turn around now and look kind of down into this parking lot area. You just see this thing is really, I mean, I'm able to see the entire driveway area here, which across is probably 30 feet, and I could see off into the woods a little bit on each edge as well. So we're looking at probably 50 feet across as this thing throws the light at 3200 lumens. All right, let's just show you the SOS real quick. All right, we're here looking out into a wetland here in New Hampshire. Let's go through the different settings, starting at the highest and working down to the lower settings. Here's looking off into another pond. So that far edge we're looking at on the other side of the pond is definitely over 100 yards away. So giving you the rundown, you've seen it in use. Let me offer you some thoughts on this light. First thing I'll tell you is, let me just mention the battery here. So I'm gonna take this out, I'll show it to you. Removing the end cap. This guy has a 5,000 milliamp hour 3.6 volt, and this is a, I think it's a 21700, looking at the size of it. I'm actually looking to see, they don't have the actual, no, it doesn't look like it. It says 21 GTE 50 right there, but I believe that's a 21700 because it's a little bit bigger than your standard 18650. So I have found that you want to make sure you keep this thing charged up because it punches out a lot of light, and then that'll drop your burn time after a while. So just make sure that you keep your light well charged. Overall, the functionality, again, like I said, that end pressure switch and then the selector switch, I like that. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but super functional to be able to turn that on and then cycle through the different outputs, turn it off. Too big for me for an EDC flashlight. The clip is going to leave about an inch of the light sticking out. It's particularly the bezel size that's just a little bit too big for me. But, you know, throw this in a pack, throw it in a backpack, throw it in a car, emergency kit, whatever it is. Definitely, I think there's some good functionality for this. They've got a lot of other lights out there. The fact that this guy is USB-C, just to show you again, USB-C rechargeable. I think it's probably one of the bigger wins of this compared to some of the other lights. I've liked Claris, I've liked the lights they've made. If I had a light that was similar to this, giving me, you know, say 2500, 2700, 3000 lumens output, would I get this? Probably not. Excuse me, mosquito flying around here. Probably I wouldn't spend the money on a new light to replace that one unless the USB-C was a huge deal for me. If I was going to buy a new light, I probably would just get this one as opposed to one of the older ones because of the USB-C and the overall functionality. So I think it's got quite a bit to offer. It's a cool light and it's worked well for me. So right now at the time of this video, this is going at about 105 bucks on Amazon. So again, a bit of an investment, but I think it's going to last you for a long time. I can't speak personally to Claris as far as their customer service because again, I'm a reviewer, so we probably interact differently, but I haven't talked to a lot of people who've interacted with them, so I can't say one way or the other. They've been good to work with for me, but again, you know, reviewer versus your average customer may have a different experience. So yeah, I mean, I would say 100 bucks, probably a little bit more than I would normally pay for a flashlight. You know, if this was maybe around 90, I'd probably go for that. Like I said, I've used other Claris flashlights that have worked well. If I had one that was similar to this, I wouldn't upgrade unless the USB-C was a major deal for me. But overall, it's functioned well. I would say it falls into a, you know, a good category. Has done a nice job for me. And yeah, if you're looking for kind of a more compact tactical flashlight, maybe this is one to check out. I just checked out online to see the price, and they've got one a little bit bigger than this, a little bit bigger bezel. They've got so many letters and numbers, I can't even remember the name of it right now. But similar price, and you're getting 4,000 lumens, so maybe that's one you want to check out if you need even more punch as far as your lumen output. But the XT21C tactical flashlight from Claris, it's worked well for me. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts if you have one, if you've, you know, as you've watched the video, what's your thoughts and feedback on the light. So let's get that conversation started in the comment section now. All right, guys, thanks as always for checking out the videos here on YouTube. Please subscribe to Everyday Tactical Vids if you haven't done so already. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, check us out on Instagram, Tumblr, and Vero as well. More videos coming soon. Take care.